Last question I have. It's not actually a question, it's more asking for a story. Could you give us an example of a particularly well-designed or well-managed mall? Or maybe even the opposite, if you can think of any.
You mean a bad one and a good one?
If you have a bad one,
okay.
Of course the almost more interesting ones.
Yeah, I think in Shanghai, my ex-colleague and ourselves were involved in a mall that is six-story high, which for most Westerners it is impossible to build a mall of 6 stories. Right? We had one in the Shanghai, and we couldn't find reasons to put a huge anchor tenants because the space is only 50,000 meters square. If we were to come up with a space of 25,000 for an anchor departmental store, which is the normal size here, it will make the whole financial viability very bad. So, and it's also difficult to bring traffic to the 6th floor. We showed that project to Simon Property Group when he came over here to China for investment. And we told them, this is Shanghai, this is the constraint, because land is very expensive in China. But through proper planning, market studies, it's possible to build quality projects. And we show them how that the escalators and the lift were placed, and the right placement of the mini anchors and the attractions help bring people up to the higher floors. In this particular case, we saw that in Shanghai there's 2 to 3 million people of executives with an income stream of 5,000 RMB to 10,000 RMB, especially the ladies, all right? And they move along the subway. They may not own the cars, some may own, some may not own. So, and there's tremendous opportunity to build a mall for the young adults, working executive. And that's called Raffles City.
I was expecting that to be Raffles City, yes.
Yeah. And we put a huge fitness club, right, that attract all the young people, a huge food court that sells all kinds of food at inexpensive prices with good hygiene, all right, and several mini anchors. And the mall is operational for 8 years. It's one of the most successful. We have done in other cities where we couldn't find anchor tenants. We went into the market to understand the opportunities, the gaps, survey the market, speak to a few hundred of the consumers, and realize that there is a need for a sports store. And we went to the prospective retailers and tell them that you are in the sports business, you need to create an 8,000 meter square sports stores. And the prospective retailers came and studied the numbers, go through the numbers with us, went through their own studies, and they developed the first Sports 100, which you see all over China today. That was in 1999. So we created concepts out of a gap in the marketplace, an opportunity we saw, and worked with the retailers to produce a new idea for the shopping center. And this is something is necessary in the emerging countries. It is sometimes difficult to lure foreign retailers to take up space with where it's really happening. You know, is in overseas. This concept is really doing very well, but some of these foreign retailers may not be here in China. So one of the ways that we do is to build concepts together with the retailers. About Failure Mall, I think there's one very interesting case in South China. There is a mall called South China Mall that was built 3.5 years ago. That is almost like 5 million square feet. Built in a place South China called Dongguan, which is basically an industrial town. It was overbuilt with the wrong size. It's too big. They assume the catchment is going to be 200 kilometers without proper market studies, and they have opened the mall, and at the same time they've also sell away many of the small shop lots. So the mall is now almost like 80% closed today because of poor business, poor traffic. So I think the lesson learned is it's very important, whether as a retailer, as a mall developer, to enter China with a view for long term, that whatever you build, you must know who are you catering for, who is your target customers, and how you're going to bring them here. The good thing about China today is that the Chinese government is spending 45% of their 4 trillion stimulus package on infrastructure. And in a couple of years' time, almost 70 over cities will be reached with express trains, which means the traveling time is going to be cut down by more than half. So this will create tremendous opportunities to open up the second and third tier cities. It will make distribution of goods easier. It will make traveling easier. It will enlarge the catchment of shopping centers too, because it's easy to move around from one city to another. So that's going to be a new phenomenon. At the same time, in provincial capital cities, you can see that many of the cities like Shenyang, Chengdu, Changsha, they are building subways. So the subways will reach out to many suburbs and many parts of the cities, and traveling time is going to cut down tremendously. Alright, we call it transit-oriented development. Alright, a lot of transit-oriented development will surface in the next 3 to 5 years all over China.
Looking into a bright future in Tier 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you.